Alright, heading up to the repeater site. Then this is the road. So I figured I'd film the ascent and what I'm actually doing today. What I am doing today at the repeater site is I used my GPS disciplined oscillator and my high resolution frequency counter to set the frequency on the 9.6 megahertz oven controlled oscillator. So I have not done that at the main site. So I'm going up to the main site to do just that. So I want to make sure everything is the same as it should be. So anyway, stop the video here because I got to go open the gate. Okay, and we're back. I got the gate open. Let me get up here. So, as I was saying, I'm going to set the frequency to exactly try to get it as close to exactly on 9.6 megahertz as possible so that they both match. So, and I'm not going to go into too much detail of something I noticed because I'm not sure if it really means anything or not, but I noticed I was getting some simulcast distortion that I didn't quite have before. And wasn't sure why. I tried playing with the transmit launch delays. I checked to make sure I had my reference frequency was good into both repeaters and that they were on frequency. So, and this happened shortly after I had adjusted the frequency on the site at my house, which, you know, to have it temporarily set up the second site at my house. So then I did a reboot on the Pi, on the Raspberry Pi. I rebooted the system, and the distortion went away. System overall sounded better, sounded like it did initially. So, and so far it's been that way for the past couple of days, hasn't changed at all. But I have a theory, a sneaking suspicion that when I set both those oscillators up, I set them on the bench and both benched them against my service monitor, and I adjusted them to within 1 hertz of each other. So I think that me changing the one at my house might have caused the frequency spread to be a little farther than it was initially, and over time it might have caused them to the audio to roll out of phase slightly. So that's my theory. And if that is true, that also means that using temperature compensated oscillators will not work. That they need to be that accurate. They need to be very, very accurate, and they will not provide the accuracy and precision required, along with aging characteristics as well. So far, over the past couple of months, the OCXOs have been performing admirably until I made that change. So that's why I'm going to adjust this one using the same procedure. I'm going to hook my frequency counter up to the external standard up here, that's a GPS locked disciplined oscillator, and I'm going to adjust the frequency and see what happens over time. So aside from that, I'm also going to experiment with a GPS blocked programmable oscillator that was suggested to me by somebody in the App RPT group. It's rather expensive, but it has a programmable output, actually a dual programmable output between 400 hertz and 800 megahertz. And sold by, I think his name's Leo Bodner in the UK, and he has he is selling it for about, I think it's 150 British pounds, which comes out to about, when I did the conversion the other day, about 200-ish US dollars. So maybe when I get a little extra cash, I might purchase one of them and test it out. You know, it's definitely something that could definitely be used to clock not only your transmitter, but also you know, the 9.6 megahertz oscillator, which that unit also opens up the possibilities as far as if you have radios that aren't built to accept a 10 megahertz reference. Like for example, the Motorola's, I remember, use a 14.4 megahertz reference oscillator in, say, the Max Tracks and the GM 300s. You could, in theory, GPS lock their frequency output and use them to simulcast using these units. And this unit, since it has a dual output, you should be able to get your 14.4 megahertz and then 9.6. Now, that's something I'm unsure about, because in reading the documentation for the unit, it said that the setting of the first frequency for the first output will depend, or will cause your second output to only be able to be set to a certain step in frequency. So I'm not explaining that very well, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So anyway, this is the site, and it's a little bit of a steep road. The road's not as rough as it used to be. And before I end the video, let me unwedge my phone, and I'll get out and have a look around. Tell you what, I never get tired of this view. It's a heck of a view. I'm always, especially now in autumn, where we have the colors popping now. So can't see the other side. I'm looking about roughly to my south right now, and that would be the Lehigh Valley, and to the north is the Pocono Mountain area. And of course, I'm standing on top of the Blue Mountain in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania. So that's it for this video. And if anything comes of my little theory, I'll let you know. Also, if I do wind up purchasing that programmable GPS disciplined oscillator, I'll do a video on that as well. Probably I'll lock a, I have a Max Track, actually not a Max Track, a GM 300 that I'll prove out my thought and see if you can GPS lock it and if it's stable enough to simulcast with. So, all right, catch you guys later. Okay, figured I'd film the event. It's a continuation here. I have it hooked to my little setup here with the 9.6 megahertz OCXO, and that's my frequency. I am about 1.5 hertz high. So that's pretty much where I left it on the service monitor. So let's see if we can bring that down. I'm going to try to hold the camera and do this. We're going to get a view of something else at the moment. There we go. I'm on the adjustment. I'm going to turn it little by little. Oh, it's coming down. it kind of averages, so you gotta kind of give it a second. Put the gate time. And with that, I'm going to let it settle out, and I'll wait on it. I got some other stuff to do up here, so I'll make sure this is stable for me turning that pot, and we'll check back on it in a little bit.